ask y'all a question though. This is just a question for all you guys. Why is cheating an issue within the black community?
From what perspective? From the female perspective or the male perspective?
From the female perspective. Why do you guys think?
Why do you think a man cheating is an issue?
Why do you think is a cheating in the black community? Because when we go to a white community, we go to Hispanics and this thing that they
don't cheat as much.
It's not the fact that they don't cheat as much. It's the fact that the women itself, they're more forgiving than our women.
Oh, that is a good question. It probably has to do with the perception of the black man and our perceived value, and whether or not our women see us as in a leadership position where our authority isn't questioned, right?
Correct.
So if a man is in a position of leadership, his authority isn't questioned. He does something, even if it's immoral, like cheating. He's more likely to be forgiven, if he's well respected and his authority is respected. If not, then something like cheating is, it's the end of the world. It's like, it's unforgivable. Any transgression from a person who isn't respected is like, what do you think you're doing? You know what I'm saying? So I think that might be part of it. As black men in America, I don't think we're as well respected by our own women as other men are by their women. And so what we do,
there you go.
Is that it? Wow.
Because that's the problem. We have been, our image of the black man's image have been destroyed. It's been completely destroyed now. Before, our image was gangsters, thugs, you know what I mean, pimps, you know what I mean, these different things that we used to see in the 60s, 70s and on movies and stuff like that, right? Now what we're seeing in movies, we're seeing black women with white men, black women successful in these careers. We're not seeing any black men images that's positive now. All we're seeing is black women, and they're boosting black women up to a certain standard that they can't even live on.
Oh, wow.
So the image of black women, these are all the images that young black women are looking at, just like the images that they saw of us to fear us, to put us in a position to where they say, oh, okay, well these guys ain't shit, right? That's what black women love to say, men ain't shit.
Right.
Where did you get that from? You didn't get that from your daddy. You didn't get that from your granddaddy. You got that from the TV. You got that from the images that you guys saw on that's programming you to think that way.
Sure.
Because we, unfortunately, black Americans are have an imitation issue. Like, we love to be able to imitate what we see within the white community. Like, we don't have our own. We don't have any leaders. We don't have nobody that's guiding us. So what we're doing is we're imitating what we see for the majority.
It's funny. Our leaders keep dropping dead.
Every single time we get somebody, for instance, Kevin Samuels, every time we get somebody that is designed to be able to tell black women, to tell black men that they're better and better together, somebody or something splits us up. And I think they killed that man. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I think
there was something sinister behind that. I don't think all of a sudden, because he never complained about health issues or anything like that. And all of a sudden, this guy's out. He's out with a young girl and he's having a good time and he drops dead. It was suspicious, but we'll never know.
What they say, hypertension. And what that is amongst the black community, hypertension is high. They want to make it seem like it's our health issues that caused it. But here's the problem with his diagnosis. Here's the problem with that whole situation. TMZ came out and said it was hypertension and everything, right? But Fulton County Medical Center didn't even release anything about the autopsy report. You can't even find the autopsy report.
Sure.
Unless it was sealed. But you can't find anything about the autopsy report to say that was the issue. You don't know what else would happen in his body.
Yeah. I know there was speculation.
So it's something weird.
There's speculation that he may have been doing drugs that night with that young lady. It's just a lot of things going out there that was unproven and it's not factual. But yeah, it's just weird.
It doesn't make sense.
This man was on the rise very quickly as a leader within the black community from a relationship standpoint, and he was an advocate for marriage and bringing the black family together. Correct. And then at the peak of his career, he's gone. Disappears overnight. It was unbelievable. I made a video about it because I could not understand how that happened. And
this keeps happening, right?
Every time you get
a prominent,
and I'm
leader.
not. I don't want to compare him to MLK and like Malcolm X, but yes,
think about all of our black men. Every black man that we've had that has been influential in a good or a bad way, unfortunately, have had an asterisk. We've all had an asterisk. Sure. We never died clean.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that is a problem that we have in our community because nobody has ever said, okay, well, when you look at white people, right? You look at their influences. We don't have any. They don't have the same type of asterisks that we have.
True.
You know what I mean? It's something wrong with the black. It's an issue with the black man, and that is what we're seeing today. There's no respect for the black man. Yeah. Masculinity is gone.
Yeah.
So now we're dealing with a bunch of men that are weak, a bunch of men that are soft, a bunch of men that think that it's okay. I told a woman this other day. Men now are looking for women like their mothers, and women now are looking for men like them.
That's a great point. We spoke on that a couple weeks ago.
We talked about something similar. What do we say that women are basically becoming the man that they want to marry?
Yep.
That is basically it.
Yeah, and it's sad.
Well, I think you guys are kind of like a change, like both of you, man, because you're both very intellectual, man. You got your stuff together. And, I one of the things that hits me as you guys speak is like you said that black women pretty much speak down on you guys often. So like basically like they're speaking their black man into existence.
Yes.
So like, why don't you speak life into your men instead of speaking death? So maybe that's something that they could do is like, switch because all of this stuff happens from thoughts.
Correct.
So you have to capture your thoughts and you have to be like, man, you need to stop dissing the black man. You need to start like building him up.
Women are the nurturer of life.
Well, they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be, but women are not nurturing anymore. And that's a huge problem.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Women have the power to do two things. They can have the power to uplift or kill a man. And we've seen it.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
We've seen this happen.
Point. Yes.
Right?
That's a great point.
They can do
whether
both.
it's biblical, whether it's anything that's, in history, we've seen it to where great men have fallen because of a woman.
Yeah.
They can do both to the same man.
Well,
they can start off uplifting him, and if something happens and their opinion of that man changes, they'll kill that man. They'll ruin that man's life.
That's a great point.
Women have the power to do both.
Wow,
they do. And what do we have the power of?
Working
our children
until I die.
Raising our
exactly
raising our sons. Because that's really how we're going to make a change.
Yeah.
Is like you have to get across to your son to pick the right woman, and then have him listen. So remember we've spoke about this on the show as well as when we're children we don't listen.
Yeah.
And if we have good guidance as fathers, that's how we're going to make a change.
Sure. Is
we have to start getting this ideology to our sons. And we have to make them aware so they don't make the same mistakes.
Yeah, you know what?
But that's keeping the man in the household.
Yes.
You have to have the man in the household to do that.
Yes.
But if the government and if the new women are saying, you know what, it is okay for you not to be in the household, we can't do that. You know what I mean? So it kind of leaves the children at a deficit. And that is what we're seeing now. We're seeing these new kids with a deficit because they do not have a father in the house to balance themselves out. I've seen posts about women talking about how it is okay to put up to shield your child away from a man that is I can't remember what they said. They were talking about how it's okay to keep the man out the house if they deem that the man is not responsible and toxic and this, that, and the other. But how does a child know that?
Right.
The child does not know that. All the child wants is their father.
Yeah, that's true.
So the only thing that they're feeding is off of what you're telling them.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you're breaking up the household.
Right.
Yeah.
So the man could be a great father, right? But the mother might not personally like the man or whatever it is, and she's gonna keep him away from his kids. And I think that's a detriment to the kid more than anything else.
Big time.
You're right. The man
what
has
TD
to be,
Jake said it. He said child support. You could get child support from a man, but you can't get child support.
Yeah.
And it's so true.
Wow.
It is so true. Like you have to have and unfortunately the way the government is set up, they'll allow you to be able to pay for a child and not be in the household and hold you to no kind of accountability outside of just paying for them.
Sure.
And that's the problem that we're seeing. Okay, you could pay for the child but not be in the child's life, and that's more important than actually paying for the child.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't understand, and unfortunately this is just me, right? I don't understand how, and unfortunately I don't really like to put men down on this, but I don't know why a lot of guys make the decision of reproducing with a woman that they don't really want to be with. Because that's a problem that we have as men.
Yes.
Right. We don't have self-control.
Yeah.
We don't say, okay, you know what?
There it is.
I don't want to busting her.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
She gonna make a baby, and I don't really want to be there.
You're absolutely right. So yes, there is. We haven't talked about this yet, but there is male accountability as well. On
it has to be.
Yeah, for sure. It's not. Yeah. We've been talking.
But that's a part of masculinity that people don't want to talk about.
What's that?
Is about self-control.
Yeah.
As far as being a masculine alpha male, you have to have some type of sense of self-control.
You gotta have some dick discipline, right? You can't go and busting nuts and all kinds of girls.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely right.
Sure.
Yeah. So the accountability falls to the man as well.
But let me ask you guys this though, and I know this has been a little touchy situation here, but the abortion situation that we're dealing with right now. What do you guys think about that? Are you guys pro, against? Like, what's your opinion on it? Because I have a whole nother opinion.
So my official stance is that I'm in agreement that it's her body, her choice.
Yes.
That is my official stance. However, I am a somewhat, I'm not going to say I'm a super religious guy, but I am a believer. Yes. I was raised Christian Baptist, so I understand the viewpoint of abortion is wrong from the perspective of it's a life or a potential life, and so I have a hard time. I'm not one of those people who just says, I'm cool with abortion. I'm not 100% cool with it. I think it's tough on both parties, the male and the female, to decide to end that potential life. But at the same time, I am a firm believer that it is a woman's choice, and so that's where I stand. If I had to vote on something, I would vote on her body, her choice. She gets to decide. But at the same time, I still feel something for that potential life that is lost. That's my stance.
What about you?
Yeah, I'm kind of where Chris is at with that. I definitely think it's the woman's choice. But I would say I'm more pro-life. Because we had my sister and my brother-in-law on here not too long ago, and they wouldn't be here if they weren't given a chance. Like my mom put my sister up for adoption at a young age, and gave her a chance. Though she had her, gave her a chance. She got adopted by a Catholic family. She comes back and finds our family 5 years ago, and she's been a blessing. She's been like my best friend, and she's helped me build a relationship with God. I mean, so personally, I have an experience with a pro-life situation. If she gave my sister a chance, and it's turned out to be a great thing. And I keep hearing these stories. The more that I share that, then other people tell me, yeah, man, I wouldn't be here. I was put up for adoption. I was put up.
Yeah.
And actually we got one of our panels, Tom.
Yeah.
He's adopting 2 little girls right now, possibly.
Yeah.
And he's taking them in and man, giving them a chance as well. I mean, maybe those parents weren't prepared, and you would think that maybe they should have, not had them, but look, they did. And then this guy, Tom is going to give them a chance.
Sure.
So I mean, I don't know. There's probably tons of stories out there like that. What do you think, D?
I mean, I agree with you on that because I'm more pro-life because I have 3 children, right?
Yeah.
One of the greatest responsibilities is to be their father.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably one of the best things that I've ever did in my life. I've had situations to where when I was young and I was reckless, I had women, I had a woman get an abortion and this, that, and the other.
Yep.
But I was young, I didn't understand
Same.
Life like that. But as I got older, I started realizing how important and how gentle parenthood is. So for me, I don't really now I get it. It's their body. Mm-hmm. I understand it. I get it. Right. I I had a conversation with a young lady about this, and we was just talking about it because I was like, okay, well, I don't think it's okay. And she was like, well, why not? It's my body, it's my choice, and this, that, and the other. And she was like, well, I said, well, if that's your choice, then why do I have to pay for it? Why do I have to give you child support and it wasn't my decision?
This is a great point, and that I was gonna add to what I was saying, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So she said, well, and she threw a monkey wrench in there. She said, well, when you decide to come at me, you gave me full say so.
Full authority, huh?
Full authority to say you want this child.
Why?
And I said,
Shouldn't it be 50-50?
Right.
I never thought about it like that though. So I gave you consent to say, yes, I want this child, right? She said yes. I said, okay. But did I give you consent to kill it?
Right.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if I say if I say yes, here's my seed. That is me consenting.
Yeah.
Without even thinking about it. But if you go to the hitman office, that is not
office.
If you go to the hitman office, I did not consent for that.
No, you got it. And I was gonna add to what I was saying. So her body, her choice. She has the choice to either have the child or not have the child, right? To have that procedure. Should men also have the choice to either financially be responsible for that child if they don't want the kid or not? Should a man be able to say, I want to have a financial abortion? I don't want to have anything, it's my wallet, my choice.
Nice.
I don't want to give you any money for this. I don't want the kid. So there are men out there. And again, like I said, I am not an advocate for abortion, but I understand sometimes the need for it, and I would prefer that people step up and have the if you're gonna make a baby, like, be responsible for your baby.
Correct.
But I understand that it happens, and the thing is, there are men out there who don't. Once it happens and a woman's pregnant, there are men out there who would choose not to be a father. They would want to not be a dad, but they have no say. Yeah. They have no reproductive rights after the woman gets pregnant. The woman has sole reproductive rights. So should a man be able to say, well, I don't want to have this kid, so I'm going to step away and not be financially responsible? Should it be legal for a man to do that? And I kind of think yes.
Well, you want to know why that's even a thing is because of the women's power of sex, right? They have the control of that. They have the access of it. Yes. So if you have access to it, complete access to it, all we're doing is providing the seed, right?
Sure.
You have the complete access of sex. You have the authority to say whether I can get in this or not, right? The unfortunate part is after I get into it, I have zero responsibility outside of that because you have full access to what happens. I have no access. Only thing I have is me driving over there and not wearing a condom or wearing one, right? You know what I mean? That's my responsibility. And I think a lot of men. That's something that we should be a little bit more, you know what I mean? We should think a little bit more about, you know what I mean? When we're going over there,
we should,
you know what I mean? A lot more.
But when you're young, you're not thinking like
we're
that.
Not.
Right.
We're not because we're made to produce.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whether good or bad, we're put on this earth to reproduce.
And as you said, women control access to sex. So as a man, if you're chosen for that, you feel like, oh, okay, I got chosen. I gotta do it. This is not something. 80% of men aren't getting laid.
Correct.
80%. So when a man gets chosen for that, he's gonna 9 times out of 10 he's gonna do it. Right?
You know what's funny about that numbers? You say 80% of men are not having sex, but did you also know that women are more sexually active than men now?
Yes, absolutely.
So who in the hell are they sleeping with?
They sleep with the same men.
Exactly.
They sleep with the same top 20% of men.
Wow.
Exactly. So women are going out here and they're being careless and they're sleeping with the same men that and a lot of times they're sleeping with men, whether that's their baby daddies or whether that's men that they've already slept with.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to feel like a quote unquote hoe.
Right.
That's a good point.
But they're out here being sexually active, and there's more men virgins than there ever been.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
And it's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think about where we are in this whole world now. It used to be where women shied away from sex. They were kind of a little bit more reserved. Now they pretty much throw it out there.
Well,
When I'm sitting in the bed and if I'm with a lady and I'm sitting in the bed, if I'm with my wife or whatever like that, we sit in the bed. You know how hard it is for me to sit in the bed next to her and scroll through Instagram and look at ass? I just see ass everywhere. It is a problem. It's so easy to, to access.
True.
it's so funny because I was just going
everywhere.
to say that. I was just going to say social media is definitely a part of the problem.
Yeah.
The sexuality of
You got a girl like showing her butt, and
Yeah.
then she gets like all these followers. What, like hundreds of thousands,
she gets
millions of followers.
instant validation
Yeah.
from
Because
showing
we
her
have a
ass.
market that is surrounded around thirsty men. We have a market around men.
Yeah.
It's not a market around women because women aren't buying it. Women aren't buying Pornhub like we are. Women aren't buying OnlyFans like we are.
Yes.
That's us.
Yes. Good point. However, so pornography for men. So men are the primary consumers of pornography, right? That's 100% true. Like the porn industry wouldn't be a multi-billion-dollar industry
Yes.
if it wasn't for men. However, the equivalent for women is social media because a woman is for a woman, the equivalent of porn would be attention.
Yes.
Right? So social media is attention porn for women. They go on and they get instant validation. They post pictures and they get likes and they get comments. Oh my God, you're so beautiful. Oh, marry me right now. Heart emojis, the eye emojis, whatever it is, right? They get it instantly. The vast majority of the consumers of social media are women. More women log into Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all these social media accounts than men. So again, men drive the pornography industry because that's kind of what we like. We like that variety. We like those options. We're visual creatures when it comes to sex. Women drive the social media industry because that's what they want. They want the attention. They want the instant gratification that they receive whenever they post on social media.
So that makes them think in abundance as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So because they're getting all these guys that are making these comments and these likes, and it's like you don't even want most of these guys. You just want the validation.
Yes, you go into the average woman's DMs, like
It's
go
ridiculous.
To,
huh?
ask one of your female friends who attractive female
all
friends.
kinds of men.
Show me your DMs on Instagram, and you will just see like proposition after proposition from all kinds of guys. There might be some blue check marks in there. There might be average guys, whatever it is, but they have like so many options when it comes, and most of it's just sexual options, but it's still validation.
Think about it like this: if you had a social media where it was fish and it was bears, and the fish are out there posting on social media, them swimming around with other fish. You know what I mean? Just putting all this, they making it look all nice in the water. Imagine what that bear is just sitting there doing on social media. Like, oh my God, look at the fish. Oh my God, all this fish. That is how we operate.
Wow.
Unfortunately, we have a sexual appetite.
Sure.
And that is how we operate. And women don't understand that this is just in our nature. This is naturally in our nature. Just like attention is naturally in their nature.
Right.
They have to, unfortunately, I'm not going to say they have to over sexualize themselves, but that is the way that they're doing it today. And unfortunately, it's wrong. It's wrong, but we can't tell them that it's wrong, but because we're feeding into it.
Sure.
Because men, that's just how we are. We feeding into it because we have to. We want to.
It's funny. We'll get scolded if we tell them they're wrong, but we'll also get scolded for overindulging in it, right?
Yeah.
The feminists will slap our hand either way. You can't tell those girls it's wrong for doing what they want to do on social media. But also, if we're like, if we overindulge and we're a little like thirsty, which most men are, those dudes driving the OnlyFans, I have a problem with that. But
Yeah.
so many simps and thirsty dudes, they get scolded and made fun of too. So you're damned if you do, damned if you don't when it comes to social media.
What's your issue with OnlyFans? It sounds like you wanna.
It sounds like we got an issue with that. I ain't never subscribed.
Me neither. I've heard about it.
I've never paid money for any sort of thing like that online, whether it comes to like pornography or OnlyFans.
There's too much free stuff out there.
Well, there's that, but also it perpetuates the problem.
True.
Why are these young girls able to go on OnlyFans, no skill set, nothing, that just based off of their looks, and instantly make 10, 20, 30 grand a month selling feet pics? Why are they able to do that? Where I got friends, we work our asses off for our entire lives, and I got people they'll never make that level of income, right? But they're good people, they work. But these young girls that just go on, They'll show some ass, and the only reason they're making the money is because these simps are out there and they're paying the money.
Yeah.
Yep.
The money is coming from men.
Yeah, men. It's
Because
us.
we,
We're the
because
problem.
We
We're
live
the
in a
problem,
world where beta males run the world.
Right.
And unfortunately, it's not a lot of alphas, and it's not going to be a lot of alphas. And then, unfortunately, that's just the way it is. We're not going to. If every man was alpha, it would be chaos.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
It's not going to happen.
It'd be all war. It'd be war.
Yeah,
after
it'll be war everywhere. People
Yeah.
kill everybody. But it's not. That's not the fact. It's the fact that we live in a beta male, world where everything is. They're gonna buy into that. They're gonna keep buying. A man that always had options.
Yeah.
Will never feed into that.
Right.
A man that has always been able to get pussy when they were younger. When they will never like. For instance, I just DM'd a girl just to say, hey, I'm a comedian. You know what I mean? Here's my clip. This XYZ.
Yeah.
You know the nerve she had to say, oh, I only talk on OnlyFans. She sent me her OnlyFans. I don't want to see that.
My God.
Like I don't want to. Like I don't care to see that. You know what I mean? I don't need that.
Right.
Yeah.
But it goes back to the 80%.
Yeah.
You're right. The beta males are running the world because they represent the 80%. Right. 80% of men, again, are not getting laid. Right. Let me switch the camera here. 80% of men are not getting laid. So those guys are the guys driving the pornography industry. Why is porn making billions of dollars? Who the hell's paying for porn?
The beta.
Yeah. Right. Why are OnlyFans chicks making more money than like the top engineers and architects in America? What is going on? It's the 80% of men who are sexually deprived and they don't know what to do, right? They have no idea what to do, so they log into these things and they, for the tiniest hope that they could possibly foster a connection with these women, like, because OnlyFans is not exactly disconnected, right? That your favorite OnlyFans person, you might have access to their Instagram, you might even have access to their email account, whatever it is. These guys are like, okay, she's not that far removed from me. It's not like a movie star where I could never get with her. This is a chick, a normal chick in her bedroom. I can see her bedroom. Maybe there's a possibility that I can get with these girls. And so these guys are shelling out $5 here, $10 here. And before they know it, that adds up. And these chicks are making, 6 figures a month. There are girls on OnlyFans making 6 figures.
I have never spent money. When I was hunting, never spent money on a woman right off back. Because women will eat you alive when you do that. When you spend money on a woman, they automatically will put you in that category.
Yeah.
Because women are constantly thinking, okay, is this a friend zone? Is this somebody I can sleep with? Is this they're trying to figure you out already. But the moment you leave with your wallet, you've already messed up.
I'm guilty of that. I'm not gonna front and say that I'm not. But when I take a chick out on a date, I cover the tab. That's just what it is. Because I'm old fashioned. Yeah. Like if I invite you out and we go out and we have a good time, I'm covering the tab. However, I'm also a 99% closer. When I say that, and I'm not patting myself on the back, and I'm not trying to brag, but what I'm saying is that 99% of the time when I take a chick out on a date, first date close, right? So I'm not shelling out money and not getting what it is that I think I want, in an exchange. It's an exchange, equal value exchange, right? It sounds terrible.
But women don't think of it that way. Why do you get to have pussy if you just gave me some shrimp?
Right. So that's what they're gonna say. But I never frame it that way. And I never go to a girl and I'm like, listen, I took you out on a date. I deserve something. I would never say that. However, I always make the expectation clear, in a way that doesn't make a girl feel awkward or obligated. And I don't know what it is, but I can count on one hand the amount of times I've gone out on a first date with a woman and not slept with her, which is, I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't know if it's a bad thing, but it is what it is. But there are a lot of dudes, you're right, who will lead with their wallet, never get what it is that they really want, end up in the friend zone, continue to lead with their wallet, and just like stay in the state of perpetual spending on a woman and never get, what they're looking for. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. You can catch all of our episodes on YouTube and Spotify at Better Gents Podcast, and follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at Better Gents Pod. Thank you and take care.